Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in. Thanks for coming back to see me. I'm really pleased you've done so, and I'm exceptionally pleased about to bring you this San Martin watch. It's the SN0144CG. My good friend Gary over at I Like Watches featured on his channel, and they were good enough to send one over to me. I think this watch is outstanding. I love the way it looked. I love the way it looked on Gary's videos. He does exceptional stuff. He really captured it very, very well. And I wanted to take a look at it. It's one that I think, just from looking at it, before I got my hands on it, I was like, for me, that's San Martin's best watch, in my opinion. Some might like it to have a date and stuff. I like the dial. I like the attention to detail. I like the indices they've used, the Chinese Arabic. I think they're really, really cool. The finishing on San Martin watches is just ridiculous. It really is. I think we need to be honest about it. Like, regardless of, I don't know if many people have heard of unconscious bias. Yeah, and I think sometimes with San Martin, some of these companies, there's definitely a little bit of play. Because I said it on my previous San Martin watch, the prices need to be managed because of the AliExpress platform. But if they're a standalone micro brand, given the watches they're providing, they're 100% worth the money. Let's be honest. That's my opinion. I think if there was a standalone micro brand doing what they're doing with the original designs, the new clasp they're offering, which are fantastic, the finishing, the bracelet on this is stunning. I just feel like they're definitely worth the money. I think there's definitely a space for them. AliExpress is probably holding them back, in my opinion. But this watch, for me, before I got it in, I was like, this looks like their best watch. But is it? Is it all that and a bag of chips? Is it a Swiss killer? Is it all that? We're going to find out together. I'm going to leave an affiliate link in the description. Please feel free to use it. But we're gonna, like I said, we're going to get there together. So get yourself a nice beverage, a nice brew, because it is about that time to get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys, so this is the watch. It's got some information of the watch at the top. We're going to run through all that. Cut out a cardboard box in a sort of packaging that you've kind of got used to. Quite like it. I'm sure they'll evolve from it at some point. You've got the tool to help size it, screwdriver, hang tag, warranty card signed. All the usual stuff you get from San Martin. I don't pay a lot of attention to it, but it comes in handy when it comes to sizing the watch, because the tools they give you are pretty good, to be honest. There's the watch, a real beautiful watch. 2 links off for it to fit my wrist. I'll put that to the side in a sort of velvety material, just so it doesn't scratch up the watch, either in transit or if you use it afterwards as a sort of travel case and stuff, which is kind of its purpose. And here is the watch. One moment, guys. So here is the watch, guys. A real stunning piece. I love that dial. I'll bring some information up about that dial in terms of, because it's to do with their Chinese porcelain and stuff. It's really, really cool. The way they've done it is fantastic. It looks beautiful. JianZhan. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Probably not. But yeah, there's the information. The model number for this is the SN0144CG. This is one of 4 colours to choose from, and I'll bring the others up now so you can get a good feel for what's more in keeping with your taste. I've got this one. Gary also featured one over at I Like Watches, so I'll leave a link to his video as well. You've probably seen it, but I'm still going to sort of leave a link to it just because it will give you another feel for what this watch looks like. So the SN0144CG. Inside the watch, it's running an automatic Highbeat Miyota movement. It's the 90S5. This is no date variant, very, very similar to the 9039. And I'm here for it. I'm really here for seeing these movements in these brands, especially from San Martin, because as much as I've said many times the price has crept up, the finishing, the movements they use has also improved. So, I mean, it's not like they're giving you what they used to give you for the price. They're definitely ever improving. So, I mean, it can't be a bad thing. So this is it's got 24 joules, 28,800 beats per hour. And this one's running about 2 or 3 seconds fast a day. So, yeah, excellent. And, yeah, I'm never going to complain about the Miyota movements. So that's the 90S5. The construction of the watch, aside from the crystal, is all 316L stainless steel, and probably what you'd expect in terms of the level of finishing, how they've put it together. It's a stunning piece. So the bezel, crown, case back, which I'll show you in a moment, solid endings bracelet and clasp, all 316L stainless steel. And as you'll see as I'm moving it around, the level of finishing is just ridiculous. Really, 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 really good. Really. So yeah, that's all that. The case thickness of the watch is 10.2 millimeters. The case diameter, I measured from the 8 to the 2. It was coming at 39 millimeters, bang on. When you go from the 9 to the 3, including the crown, it was coming at 41.5 millimeters. The lug width on this is 20, so it's going to be a bit of a strap monster. That does taper down to 16 and back up to 18 millimeters at a fully milled clasp. And the lug to lug tip, the tip of the watch, is a true lug to lug. It's got a female end link to the center link, and it's 46.1 millimeters. So they talk about Goldilocks proportions. I think that is pretty close to those sort of proportions, guys, if I'm being honest. The bezel is a brushed bezel, got high polishing and the chamfered edge, but I like the way it's sort of concaved, it's sort of sloped, really nice, and it gives you that sort of look in the bezel. Doesn't look too pronounced because of how it's been done. Crown situated, the 3 o'clock screw down crown, and there's the case back. You've seen it on a couple of other watches, and again, just outlining this JianZhan, yeah, which is what I showed you a few moments ago. But yeah, really nice. I love the way that they put these watches together. Just screams quality. 20mm lug width down to 16, as I mentioned. Screw pins just to make it nice and easy. I took out 2 you'd have seen at the beginning. Really nice brushing and polishing. The only thing sometimes that happens is the articulation like that, it will get stuck, so you got to kind of wriggle it, so which isn't ideal. But yeah, one of the very few things about this watch that just isn't outstanding. Fully milled clasp. Again, another iteration of their sort of on the fly system that they're now doing. I think that's the 3rd one I've seen from them. All done very well in terms of the engineering involved. And it's obviously got the San Martin embossed on the outer part. The crystal covering the dial is a sapphire crystal. Pretty good AR coating on there, given the lights I use. Yeah, sapphire crystal, good bit of AR coating. The water resistance is cited as being 100 meters. So that'll give you 10 atmospheres of water resistance, kind of really sort of solidifying it being sort of like a Garda style watch. And the weight will appear in the top right. So with those 2 links removed, it was coming at 128.1 grams. So reasonable heft, quite light probably, given the proportions of the watch. But like I said earlier, I do really like the proportions. So yeah, there we are. But let's have a look at the dial in a bit more detail. So the dial is stunning. I love the way it looks. You get sort of different shades of blue. Really love that. Plays with the light really nicely. You got a minute track, railway track going around the outer edge in gold, in keeping with the gold indices, which we'll speak about in a moment. You got Chinese applied indices. I've never had these before, and it's actually really nice to get something a little bit different. A nod to the fact it's a Chinese company, and you see sort of Arabics in all different sort of numbered, and yeah, so it's nice to see that they've gone with Chinese text. Really nice, like I said, gold, high polished. The hands and indices on this are done really well. The proportions on the hands is outstanding, and the plied indices have been done really well. I really like it. I'm here for it. Really nice. You got San Martin printed on just below the indices at the 12. You got automatic printed on just above the indices at the 6. And the way they've done the colorway on this with the sort of different shades of blue and the gold, sometimes you can't quite see the writing in terms of San Martin and automatic, but it just screams quality. And like I said just a moment ago, I do like the indices. Hands fantastic. And you're wondering now at this point, Si, what's the loom saying? So I'm gonna bring the loom up now. The loom is really good. It's one that I was unsure, well, I wouldn't say unsure. I kind of expected it to be pretty good, given this is San Martin. It's just what they do. They execute, don't they? It's been a long time. I don't know if I've ever had a bad one, but over the last sort of year or two, they've really elevated their game, and they're going to a whole different level. I mentioned before maybe about becoming a bit more independent in terms of, they've got their JianZhan brand as well that they're doing. Maybe San Martin needs to be a separate entity from AliExpress, a bit like that brand. Something to think about. But yeah, the loom on this was very good. Again, another sort of nod to it being a Garda style watch, because it can go anywhere, do anything. So yeah, really nice loom. The you got the hands and indices, you got the lume as I've showed you a moment ago. Normally what I would do is, there's only one position because it's a no date variant of the Miyota movement. You take the crown out of hack, put it back in, it will start back up again. If you turn the crown away from you, you can charge it, and then when the time comes, you can just screw it back up, just like that. And that is everything going on there. Let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. One moment, guys. Okay, so this is what it looks like on my wrist. My wrist is a 7¼ inch wrist, and it's really difficult to find fault with this watch. It is not cheap, and I'll bring the price up at the time of recording, but when you consider what you're getting with the Miyota movement, the bracelet, the finishing, the clasp, it's got to be worth it, isn't it? It really does. It's hard to it's hard to say it's not. But yeah, I think it looks stunning. But as ever, what do you all make of it? Okay, so guys and girls, that would now take me swiftly on to what I think is pants and Pukka about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you know we start with pants. I like to go on a high with Pukka. So what I think is pants about this watch is, I'm not going to go along the lines of the price, because aside from AliExpress, would I pay this for this watch? 100%. 100%. I think it's quite arguably worth twice the price, if I'm honest. But the only thing I'm going to mention is that link articulation that I showed you earlier, in terms of if it gets stuck in one place, it's a bit tricky to get back to being as it should be in terms of conforming nicely. So that's all I'm going to say, because I think this is an absolute belter, and another sign of just the sort of timepieces / watches that San Martin are able to produce right now. So I'm just going to say the link articulation for what I think is pants. What I think is Pukka, considerably more, and probably hardly surprising given the sort of how well this watch is done. So I'm going to go with the dial. The dial's a little stunner. It looks really cool. It makes me think of, if you look at space films, when they go through time really quickly, and it gives that sort of effect. Nice. The hands and indices, I mentioned, I love the fact they got Chinese indices. Really nice. The proportions of the hands are good, all polished, gold. Look great. The lume, yeah, the lume's very good. Really helping it in that Garda space. The movement, the Highbeat Miyota movement is really going to help it. The movement itself costs a good £100 odd to buy. So yeah, you're getting good quality movement with the Miyota 90 S5. The bracelet's very Jubilee style, but they've just executed it really well with those faceted edges. It's sort of over-engineered, if you like. Which is that possible? Is it? I'm not sure. The clasp, like I said, the fully milled clasp with the on-the-fly adjust. I love these clasps. I've not had one like this before. Slightly different engineering involved, but executed fantastically. The size, I mentioned earlier, I think the proportions on this, they're really in that Goldilocks space, aren't they, in terms of how well sized it is. The finishing, I don't think anyone can ever mention San Martin and not mention finishing. That's just become their go-to. With Baltony, I say polishing, but with San Martin, I just say finishing generally, because their finishing is outstanding. And the general look, I think this is a really stunning piece, and it's one that I'm not going to be able to let go of, because I just think it's beautiful. So they're the things I'm going to say: the dial, handed indices, lume, movement, bracelet, clasp, size, finishing, and the general look of the watch for what I think is Pukka. And that'll take me on to, would I recommend this watch? And listen, guys, I'm the first to say that, yes, they are more expensive nowadays, San Martin watches. But the reality is, forget the fact they're on AliExpress. When you look at what you're getting, your eyes don't lie. They make some exceptional pieces. And I would 100% have to tell you to buy this watch, because I'm keeping this. This is fantastic. This is a beautiful piece. It's really one that I look at, and it gives me the same feeling as my Christopher Ward, which is sort of two and a half times the price of this watch. And I wouldn't say it's 2.5 times as good. So I'll say it's pretty even, to be honest. So yeah, definitely. But guys and girls, as ever, please let me know what you think about this watch, more importantly. And maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as I always say, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.